Like the people means like the people in real sense, like your neighbors, like your office colleagues, like everyone that you engage with. Don't question that, okay, why this person is my neighbor, why this person is my relative, why this is a colleague. First, like him.
Here's an interesting read. Love the life, like the people, and live in peace. Hello viewers, welcome back to Game of Life. This is a show where we're focused on your spiritual growth as well as your personal growth. My name is Rosemary Willie and I have here with me Divan Shukla. We're going to continue our conversation on Spooty Synopsis. We'll be talking about life. On our last episode, we asked a question, or rather, we threw out a conversation where we said, analyze the life as it is. Let's delve into that. What does it mean to analyze your life as it is?
Okay, but it's a part of the whole sequence. We will go into the whole sequence, which are three aspects.
Analyze the life as it is. Channelize as it should be. Panelize it in accordance with the priority and possibility. So I guess those are the three aspects.
Yes, perfect. So the three aspects is analyze the life as it is. So whatever life is there, check your situation. Check the present situation where you are. Channelize as it should be. Determine the objective, the target where you want to go. And channelize your energy, make small adjustments every day so that you are on track with the goal. Penalize it in accordance with priority and possibility. So possibility means what is the possibility you can achieve it. Prioritize it. So this is basically penalize means the part of assessment. Assess what you have thought, what are the changes you are making, are you really on track for the progress. So that's the.
So it's very important that we analyze, we channelize, and we penalize where we have to.
Right.
Okay, so back to the first sentence that I started the conversation with. It says, love the life, love the life, like the people, live in peace.
I think it's a straightforward thing that love the life. Whatever life you have got, don't doubt it, don't question, don't say why me. Love it. Whatever you have got.
But that doesn't stop you from aspiring for, let's say, a better standard of living.
Yes.
Right? All the author is saying is the state that you find yourself as opposed to moping and regretting. He's saying love the life.
Love the life.
And you can aspire to a better standard of living, but love the life. And like the people.
So like the people means like the people in real sense, like your neighbors, like your office colleagues, like everyone that you engage with. Don't question that, okay, why this person is my neighbor, why this person is my relative, why this is a colleague. First, like him.
And live in peace.
And live in peace. If you follow this formula, you love your life, you like the people, live in peace is the result out of it.
It feels like a blissful life. It's very difficult.
It's difficult, but let me tell you, like, what is the best way to shake somebody's hand?
Shake them. Is there a formal way to shake people?
So if you write a book, it may take 10,000 pages or 50,000 pages.
A person.
But if you do this way, this is the best way to do it. This is the best. So start it. Do initiative. If you think it's how to shake the hand, it's very difficult.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like the people. Don't think how will I like the people. Then you can write a 20,000 pages out of it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
There's something that our intuition tells us anyway.
By doing, you will realize it's so easy.
Yes.
But by thinking, it becomes very difficult.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay. Be bold enough to be a gold proof in order to be a vested crystal of the veracity.
So I think this is very important, and this gives a guidance on life where you want to go. So what he's saying, be bold enough. So first of all, bold, like he said, be intelligent and valiant in one of the shoots we have seen. To be gold proof. Gold proof means you should be excellent in your ways of working. High reliability. You know, gold, if I buy in US and I check in Nigeria, it's the same. High quality, high standard, high value. Credibility. If I go in India, Australia, Japan, gold means gold. Everyone across the geography with different backgrounds know what is gold. Be bold to be a gold proof. Develop that kind of excellence in order to be a vestal crystal. So this basically means be unblemished, be shining like a diamond. Of the veracity means be accurate and good in your work. If you are gold, you are gold. You don't have to worry. You have worked very hard, toiled very hard to learn the game.
The saying is important for you to shape in those capabilities.
Yes.
And make sure that you're the same standard wherever they find you. Depends on whatever society, you're the same person.
Yes, and develop the courage to bring excellence, to bear the pain. Develop that courage to bring integrity. Gold is also about quality, reliability, which will come only by integrity.
Okay. The negligence of the material life is never be the cognizance of the spirituality, but only it is the ignorance of the intelligence.
So this, I think, great master is saying that if you say that a person is spiritual, does not mean he will go to the Himalaya mountains or forest or be a secluded person or be a celibate in a church or a mosque. That is not what he's saying. He is saying balance your material life and spiritual life. So taking material life means I want to earn, I want to make money, I want to have children, does not mean you cannot be spiritual. Both the ways I am saying.
Yeah, no.
So it's not either or.
It's not that one has to suffer.
So-
Both, you can have both.
So he is saying both you can have, and if somebody says you can have only one, then he's saying it is only ignorance of the intelligence.
Wow. Where is the detachment existed or established? Only the variance of attachment prevailed, whether it is material or spiritual.
So again, it is connected to the side where one said, okay, I am spiritual means I am going to forest. He says even in forest, you will have thoughts, you will have attachments. So whether it is material life or spiritual life, what is the difference? Is that difference of attachment. So in a forest, you don't have opportunity to interact with human beings. So your attachment has become less, but it is not zero. And I have really experienced very spiritual saints and their circles in India. And I was surprised to see that how you have corporate hierarchies. Like you have a vice president, you have general manager. Similarly, you have hierarchies in spiritual areas also.
Oh, wow.
So I think you can see that everywhere. Whether you go to Ghana, you go to Benin, you go here. Somebody is a minister, somebody is a pastor, somebody... Why? So the degree of attachment to what you are bringing is, he says, it's always there. So what he is stressing is, no need to leave the material life. No need to leave the spiritual life for materiality.
There can be a balance.
Both can be taken.
The morality that surged into the mortality and the virtue which merged with the spirituality are two in one so far concerned to the human life.
So I think both he is saying there are the two in one, which is morality is very important, and you have to merge it with the mortality, means the life, morality in life and behavior, and virtues merged with the spiritual life. So morality, virtue with spirituality.
So thank you. I think it sort of summarized the first phase that says you can be spiritual, you can be material, but there's a balance on how you live life, and that has to do with your morals, like your values.
And it also states that you don't have to wear a particular kind of dress to be spiritual.
Yes, it doesn't have to be a show.
Show. You can be in material life and be very spiritual. That is the aspect he's looking at.
And when we say material life, because so many people miss it and they always relate it to just money. It's not just that, it's your physical life, the life you're living, your everyday life, discussing, working, that life. It's saying that there can be a healthy balance with a spiritual sense of understanding to say that you're a divine being.
See, what happens is the material principles are material, means let's say it's a dead matter, like dollars or gold. Is it alive? No, we call it as a dead matter, as an inert matter. So you value a person by the inert matter, some pounds of gold or some pounds of dollar or whatever. So material life talks or is more motivated into these matters. It can be house, it can be car, it can be money. So this is part of the material life.
Be a frugal and legal. I feel like I've heard this in one of the, but I don't know. Be a frugal and legal.
So frugal and legal means be conscientious, compliance to the laws and regulations. Frugal means economical. Don't try or don't be a high flyer, because you never know when the life is going to give you eventualities where you will need that money to counter it.
The life is one of the layers of the creation. It lives within it. The evolutionary mutation manipulates the bio, the plasmatic matter.
So this, I think, is a more of us, because he's a scientific saint. He likes to go into the facts of the matter. So life is one of the layers of the creation. So there are various layers of creation. We have seen from universal energy to universal soul to cosmical matter like galaxies, planets, and then inert matter. Then you can say the variations of hydrogen and oxygen, which is basically the water variations, and then the biomatter. So what he says, life is one of the layers of creation, because there are various layers of creation, mutation, changes, and life lives within it. After so many changes and mutations, life has come into it. Now he says evolutionary mutation. What we have also accepted now after reading that change is the only thing which is happening all the time, and change is happening as a fact. So evolutionary mutation manipulates the bio. So the biomatter, or you can say the lifetron, is manipulated. How it is manipulated? So you will go for the detail into the biology of it. Like changing the DNA sequence creates diversity, then change in geography creates diversity of bio. So there are certain animals which can prosper and grow in an ice climate. There are some which will do in Amazon maybe. So diversity is there. So that evolution causes the mutation and it manipulates the bio to create diversity.
Okay. So it says dependence is an inevitable, whether it is direct or indirect, and interdependence acts indirectly.
I think this is very straightforward, that we are dependent on something or the other, directly or indirectly. You cannot say...
Yeah, we like it or yes. You cannot...
Even plants are dependent on the soil, water, sunlight. Yes.
Life is neither Maya, myth, nor mystery. It is the history of the evolutionary Maya and the revolutionary disarray. Even a little utility of the material effort is more useful than the futile philosophy of philosophy.
So this is, I think, very important. Maya is something like illusion. We say that, okay, is a concept written in Hindu scriptures that when in the night you are going in the dark, there is a rope, and that rope you imagine to be a snake, but it is actually a rope. But why you imagine to be a snake? Because of darkness. So once you have light, you have enlightenment, you will know the facts clearly. So what he is saying is this Maya, myth or mystery, life, they say, okay, we can't know life, we can't understand the complexity of life. He is saying, don't see from a philosophical angle, try to see from a scientific angle. So it is the history of the evolutionary Maya. So what is evolutionary Maya? You know the evolution from universal energy to the biomatter and the creation of species in the planet. And the revolutionary disarray. Revolutionary disarray means sometimes what happens, the intellect behaves in a haphazard or whimsical way. We have seen how some of the human beings will do a war against each other, blow the ego. So because of these factors, the evolution, the change, that is the history of humankind. So even a little utility of the material effort. So little utility means see what are your actions and how useful it is to yourself and humankind. Then the futile pansophy of philosophy. So going into the concept of Maya, Brahma, or talking about universe disconnected with that game of life is saying it's going theoretical. Understand the creation, understand the evolution from a factual perspective to connect to it.
Wow.
But don't theorize everything. So what he is saying,
Because because when you say understand, one would refer to the materials they have. It's theoretical. And now it's also saying don't go into that direction. So is there a way to understand creation, understand the universe? Is there a way to converse other than, our theoretical?
so there are two ways to it.
Material.
One is find a master, a person who can tell you the truth of the matter, because even science is evolving. The second way is meditation. Know yourself and know the universe. All the facts about the nature, the intricate experiments, the intricate things will start opening up when through intuition you can interact with the every matter of creation.
Okay, the purpose of life is of being and being with an evolutionary progress and the revolutionary regress in order to, in the unity and of its diversity in all the respects and aspects of the phenomena.
So what he is saying, the purpose of life is of being. Being means
And being.
Is of being. Being means being in the state of existence, being in present. You are talking to me, but you are also thinking about office, or you are thinking about your priorities. You are not in a state of being.
So that means there are a lot of people that are not in a state of being because
So don't go into the purpose of life which is futuristic.
be in the present.
Yes, make your present a present.
It is quite difficult, especially with our minds and our thought processes. It looks like our minds run faster than we do, because we having this conversation and a person can be looking at you, interacting, but their minds are somewhere else. How can we bring back our minds? I think we've discussed it before, because it's
First of all, if you are into many things, you are dissipating your energy. You are not in one thing because you are in many things. Because you are in many things, you are actually in no one thing. So you have to train and discipline your mind, bring concentration in it, which will come through breathing exercise, meditation, and contemplation of philosophy.
But with the so many activities, so many engagements, responsibilities, it's almost a risk to tell me I'm just going to focus on one thing. It's possible, but then it's as if the world is so fast-paced that if you don't meet up, a lot of things will go wrong. I think that's why many people are so engaged in different activities. I don't mean physically, I mean their thoughts at the same time, because yes, you want to converse, but there are about 10 other things you need to sort out. Is that not a way to just, because I'm talking to you and I know, okay, maybe I need to pick somebody up, or maybe, okay, I don't need to.
So let me say, this is the contrast of life. Where more discipline and more peace is required, we tend to be more indisciplined and more troublesome and more quarrelsome. In a hurry to run towards the office, I picked up the key, but I forgot that yesterday my tire was flat. So what you were hurrying on? You took the key and you ran towards the car and you said, okay, the tire is flat. So there is more pressure, there are more responsibilities which requires more peaceful and more disciplined mind. This is one part, contrasting I am saying the contrasting facts. The second is, we say mind is disturbed and is many thoughts. But can you tell me, when you were speaking to me, where you were? Did you had two thoughts when you were speaking?
No.
No. So if you analyze deeply, you will see that the mind can only take one thought at a time. Even though you may be in many things, but your thought at any particular point of time, it may be a second, split second, it will only be one thought. So it's about discipline. When it can take only one, no two thoughts can go together. Like imagine you are talking to one person and you are also talking to second person. You have only one mind, one face, one brain. So knowing this fact, you will know that I can be more efficient if I focus on one.
So you're saying that focusing on one thing actually, in contrast, makes you more efficient,
Yes.
as opposed to...
Like I'll give you one example. We discussed that okay, you should maintain a diary, you should maintain your to-do list. Imagine I will give you two situations. There is a person who has a to-do list of 6 things. Both have six things. But there is a person who did little bit of all the 6, and again next day he is writing in his diary same 6 things, and he writes after 1 week also the same 6 things. And imagine there is a person who says, okay, my priority is this. He completed 1. Next day he writes only 5. Whose brain will be relaxed? Who will also enjoy his personal life in addition to his professional life?
The one
Who will have less thoughts?
The one who finished.
So please remove this contrasting or dichotomy that we have more things. It means you create a more commotion, or you can say in Nigeria word palava. You create more palava because you have more pressure. More pressure requires more discipline. More pressure requires more peaceful mind. So let's imagine I give you, do it quickly, and the moment I told you to cut a tree and you started cutting and you said my hand is bleeding because of cutting fast. Then I told you, why did you take this axe which is with a blunt blade? Instead of cutting the tree in a hurry, you should have sharpened your axe. So sharpen your axe, sharpen your mind by making it peaceful. And you will be surprised that a spiritual person who has 6 priorities, the third example, he not only does the 6 but also creatively adds 2 more points and does it, and has a more fulfilled day than a person who did only 1, or has even more who did nothing. Actually, he's doing for the week.
So the takeaway is it is important to sharpen your mind for a peaceful state.
Yes.
Okay. The little is best. A little is better than little.
So I think this is basically of modesty, not being a high flyer. The little is best means whatever you have got, try to derive a satisfaction and happiness out of it.
Okay, so it says a little is better than little.
A little is better than little. It means little bit what you have get, if you want to get more, is still better than nothing. In the life, first is derive a satisfaction quotient. Second, try your efforts for gaining things, but not trying, which means living with lethargy, laziness,
It's worse.
is worse, he's saying. So a little is better than little.
You can be lingered when you are with hunger. So in case of every attitude of activity.
Yes, so this is very important, and we are in the game of life. And what is the topic? Life. And life topic is one topic where Shri Guru Vishwaspurti, the master, has written many quotes. For ability, he may have written 2 or 3 quotes, but for life, he has written pages. So you can see how important it is to discuss every line of this subject matter. So if we focus on this itself, you can write a book on it. You can't be lingered. Don't procrastinate. Don't delay things. When you are with hunger, if you are hungry, do you procrastinate? He's asking you. No, you are gulping, jumping, saying bring quickly. Apply the same principle in case of attitude of activity.
Wow.
Be hungry to finish things. Don't say, let's do tomorrow. Like in our example, the 6 things he started again, next day 6 things.
I like that it actually specifically says, so in case of every attitude of activity.
Yes.
So it has to do with your mindset.
And I will give you many examples on it. See, when your mind is peaceful, you focus and you complete. If your mind is peaceful, let's imagine the work takes 2 hours. But if it is peaceful and focus is full, you will complete it in half an hour. Then will the thoughts of it will linger?
No, if you complete it
Within time. He was expected as a natural efficiency to do in 2, but he could do in half an hour because of peaceful mind.
Yeah.
So, because he is hungry to finish, he will be with a more happy and satisfied state of mind. So, this is very important. I have seen people who are say, okay, I am doing. You are saying doing for many days.
When will you do it?
And when in my mind, I'm calculating if I want to do, how much time I'll take. In my mind, it comes 20 minutes.
I think it makes so much sense, especially with that example of, oh, I'm doing it. You find that one of the biggest reasons why people don't actually get to that thing or that activity they need to do is because their minds are busy. If you ask them to actually sit down and say, okay, so why haven't you? They go, okay, it's just a mindset thing.
So in the task, like he wrote 6 tasks, his mind is always saying, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. But there is not a single thought which says, let's finish it in 20 minutes.
It's always I have to.
So I have to do has covered like a virus in your mind.
And then you don't do it.
And you don't do it.
Let's go back to one of the points. You're back to thinking mood as opposed to just doing it. So you give a reason. That's what we did with the handshake. So you then give a reason to say, oh, I can't do it because of this, or I have to take long.
Or this is a better way, or that is the better way.
Meanwhile, you could have just done it, and you learn in the process.
And what happens, because you procrastinate, it adds to the pressure. Okay, night I slept, I remember, oh, I couldn't do. Let's try tomorrow. Then tomorrow also you said, I have to do. So you are filling the mind with I have to do rather than actually doing.
Which is not the right attitude.
That's the thing.
Eligibility is better than
gullibility, yes. So gullibility means being deceived, being tricked. So what he's saying is develop qualifications. Develop the right constituents to be an excellent professional. And it is much better than being tricked or fooled.
Making use of the empathy is better than the exhibition of the sympathy or
apathy. I think it's a straightforward you know, in your, like imagine there is a person, a colleague in the office who is finding difficult to complete the job. So there are 3 situations coming out from this master stroke. One is empathy. Hey, what is the problem? Okay, you are stuck here. I think this skill set you have to develop. Why don't you try this way? And then he achieves it because you have shared the feeling where he is stuck. The second approach is, oh, so sorry you couldn't do. So I am expressing my sympathy. Oh, so sorry you are trying now. You are very much trying now. But you don't want to go into his problem. You don't want to share his feelings. And the other is apathy, which is lack of enthusiasm. You are always like this. I give you and you are sitting from the day. 3 situations are coming. 1, engaging to help and alleviate his problems. Second, oh, so sorry you are sitting now from morning, but you don't want to get into his problem.
Like a pretense.
Yes. And the third is, you are always like this, you are sitting from morning to evening. See the bosses, leadership we have seen.
Yes.
So this is exactly what master is saying.
So there are leaders that they don't care. They show the sympathy for just the sake of showing, but they don't really care about,
So it is not about only leadership. It is about the game of life. Whether a mother thinks about baby is studying, are you showing sympathy, or you are empathetic, or you are apathetic? He's always sitting like this and complaining. It can be for a husband-wife relationship. It is for everywhere.
Okay, let's read the last sentence before we take a break. It says, the satisfaction of temperance is more joy than that of the satiation with gluttony.
So I think satisfaction of temperance means balance. and is much better than satiation, means fulfillment, with gluttony, means excessive indulgence in food or drink. So one person, keeps a balance, eats balanced, little bit stomach is empty, tries to time his meal, not taking too heavy in the night so that the sleep is incomplete, indigestion problem. And the other is he simply jumps on the food and gives a big one, and after that realizes that he has a bloating or he has an indigestion. So what he says, that balance will give you more joy than fulfillment and overindulgence in food and drinks.
Wow. So the balance, will give you more joy, whether you like it or not, than being a glutton, with your food or your drink. And I think that is a take-home lesson for everybody, really, because we've all somehow dealt with that, where we want to indulge, and we know that the end to that indulgement is not.
The cost is heavy.
The cost is heavy. Meanwhile, we can just avoid it and just stay happy and joyful. Okay, so this has been amazing. I guess we're going to stop here and then come back for part B. So join us next time.